everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and today we are going to be creating a single page layout from the September-October catalog from Close to My Heart. So right here is on page 14 of that catalog. So this was last month's catalog, but it had such a cute traditional Christmas layout that I wanted to recreate it. I did change it up a little bit because I didn't have the stamp set that went with the Deck the Halls. That was part of a different stamp set that I had, and I went ahead and used the Comfort and Joy scrapbooking stamp set instead and used the phrase "the most wonderful time of the year." So both of those work. In fact, any stamp set you have on hand could easily work. What I really liked about this particular paper collection is it was definitely a traditional color scheme and also gave that little bit of modern kind of flair with the plaid that's really big nowadays. So kind of the modern country Christmas kind of theme. So I went ahead and cut everything out already, and there were no measurements or instructions in the catalog, so I just kind of eyeballed everything. So what I'm using is the base page right here, which is the 12 by 12 layout. Then I went ahead and cut a page of the white, and I cut it about 1/4 of an inch less so I could get that nice 1/4 of an inch border. Because to me, again, just eyeballing it with no real instructions, that's what it looked like, about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the ATG gun just because this layout has a lot of layers and it is going to take up a lot of glue. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of make sure I'm placing it evenly in that area just so I have that really nice border all the way around. So the next piece is this beautiful plaid. I love this sheet. On the back it's those beautiful poinsettias, but this is definitely the piece of paper that I fell in love with when I saw this collection. And I will go over the measurements after and kind of list them down below if anyone is curious with what my rendition of was for recreating this. And again, just kind of eyeballing it, making sure that I have that piece where I want it. And you could easily use a mat, a Versamat that has all the measurements on it. I just kind of eyeball everything. I don't know why. It seems a little easier for me. I don't really like perfect measurements, so I just kind of go with the flow. But again, if you are someone who wants the perfect measurements, go ahead and use a Versamat or any other tool to get it perfect. So then this piece right here, and this is again all from the Close to My Heart Comfort and Joy collection, which was in the September-October catalog, but most of it is still available on the website. I'm gonna go ahead and I just dovetailed this as well, cut right in the middle and then just cut each corner. That is the easiest way that I found to dovetail. So again, just using that ATG gun, going around all these corners. The original page looks like they used a 5x7 photo, and I typically do not print my photos 5x7. I typically print them 4x6. So my base on the card is a 4x6. So I'm going to go ahead and put that they have it directly under. So I think I'm going to leave it there because then these pieces, I'm trying to remember, I know I changed it a little bit because I kind of wanted to add my own little flair to this. I think I put it down a little bit. I didn't put it straight up. If you look at the original piece, they have it right under, but again, this was 5x7. So I'm going to go ahead, get that moved down. And this is just 4x6, but with, 4x6 1/4 by 6x6 1/4, or by 6 1/4. That way I have a 1/4 of an inch kind of edge all around the photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down because I do want that black little edge around the photo. So right here, Again, I'm changing it just a little bit, and these I left longer because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted them. Actually, I have them opposite. That one was the larger one. Here we go. It's the same sheet of paper, just different sides, because a bunch of the clusters kind of go right over in this corner and then kind of over here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim the edges over here because most of it gets covered by the cluster anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my scissors. Again, this doesn't need to be perfect because in reality it's all going to be covered by the cluster, but I just kind of want to guide myself here as to where they need to go. So I'll go ahead and get those laid down. Lay the smaller one down first. And again, just kind of eyeballing everything, placing it where I think it looks good. And I really did, this layout in the catalog is what kind of sold me, besides that awesome plaid. But this is what sold me on buying the kit because I thought, oh, I already have a lot of Christmas paper that I should use up. And then I saw this layout and I was like, nope, I need to buy this too. So a lot of the cluster area right over here, they were actually from the sticker sheet. So when you get the paper, you can also purchase the sticker sheet with it. And I used a lot of these stickers, but I didn't know exactly where I was going to place them. So what I did, as I do quite often, is use the anti-static tool and went on the back and just kind of pressed down, and what that does is it turns a sticker into an ephemera piece. So this way I can kind of move it around with not worrying about it. Oh, when I put it down, it's stuck. So it makes it more movable, and I just go ahead and use either the 3D foam tape or the 3D foam circles. So we are going to work on the first cluster, which is right over here, which had, like I said, a bunch of those little stickers and then some other just kind of like chipboardy pieces. This one has a dot in the middle that I'm just popping out. That one gets covered. This one also had a circle in the middle, and I just took some twine and kind of tied it through that. They also had a couple of hearts on here, and I could only find one little lonely wooden heart, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that on my layout. So some of this, again, because their photo was a lot larger, it was a 5x7 and mine's just a 4x6, I'm just going to kind of cluster most of it just right down here, doing a very similar pattern as to what they had. But instead of it kind of covering the photo like theirs did, mine will be mainly kind of covering that corner that I just cut. So I'm just going to go ahead, and again, that was a sticker, and I'm just going to go and turn that right into an ephemera piece that you just have to add a little bit of tape right to it. This piece will go roughly there. I'm going to raise the snowflake a little bit, just cutting a bit of the 3D foam tape and kind of putting it right behind it, just kind of tucking it back there. I think I'm going to move the angle that I had this guy on just so that can kind of show up more. And then since that little piece of holly is kind of overlapping on that snowflake, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of raise that little back piece of the holly as well. Then these two pieces go right here. I'm going to lay that one flat and lift that guy up a little bit. So again, just taking the little bit of the ATG gun and just kind of adding it to it. This one I'm going to raise. Again, just kind of cutting that. I do love the little clusters that were shown in this page. I just think it's a great use of a lot of the stickers that you can obviously easily change into ephemera. But to me, I love a good little cluster. So right here, the little heart, I'm going to use some glue, just a little bit of liquid glue. It went right about there. And again, they had a heart right here, but I, for the life of me, could not find a little heart. And I know I have one somewhere in my stash, so maybe later I will kind of add it to it as well. Then over about here is another cluster. So again, I used a different stamp set and I used the most wonderful time of the year, but I went ahead and also stamped it in black, which is what they had. So to add some balance, I'm going to put it kind of overlapping on my photo. Again, I changed it up a little bit because I have a 4x6. So for this, I'm going to add some 3D foam tape to this side and just make sure there's no adhesive here. That way, when I get my photo, I can just slip it right in. Just adding that foam tape to the back. And then this way, any other little items that I can add, I can just kind of slip behind it as well. So again, roughly here. Want to make sure I don't go off my edge of that red because that is indeed the end of the page. But this way, I can just slip in something right behind it. There's no tape back there. So the other pieces that they had were, again, some stickers that I kind of turned into ephemera. Again, any pieces that will overlap over the photo, I will make sure I do not put adhesive there. So it looks like this big, beautiful poinsettia and then this little guy down here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one glued down. And I think I want this one, do I want this one flat? I'm trying to think here. That piece, there is a little star that goes right here. This piece right here, there's going to be some other little added parts. I did also cut out an extra little bit of the greenery as well, just to kind of add something to it. And all of this is from the thin cut and stamp set that is here. This is probably a better way to show it. So this is the Comfort and Joy scrapbooking thin cut and stamp set. So I use that as my main title, but then right here, that little greenery, and then this bow I'll show you later as well, are pieces that I used. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep this. I actually think I kind of want it. No, I think I'm going to keep that one flat. So go ahead and add a little bit of tape to the back of it. I just kind of want more dimension to it. So I'm going to go and put a little bit of glue to the back of this. Again, I want to tuck it behind here, but I want to make sure that I can still fit a photo underneath. So I should be able to slide the photo right underneath that as well, because I'm essentially gluing it to, in fact, yes, for that side, I'm going to glue it to the top. I'm gluing it to the sticker kind of turned ephemera piece. So right there, so once that picture is in, that'll look really cute. All right, so then the next piece, there's this cute little star. This was also a sticker, which I could have probably left a sticker, but I wasn't sure if I was going to recreate the placement exactly. So I went ahead and made that kind of an ephemera piece. And then this piece down here, let's see here, what else is there? I believe that's that for this little cluster, but I think what I'm gonna do is just add another one right there. Maybe the dark green. I think the dark green will look really cute, just because that little piece kind of needs a little something else. So go ahead, add a little bit of the liquid adhesive there, and go ahead, get that down. This layout also calls for some glitter gems, which are right here, the gold glitter gems. I absolutely love the gold glitter gems. So I'm going to go ahead and use quite a few of them. And I'm really just going to kind of place them essentially where they had them. Because again, I really just liked the way that they had it all laid out. So I'm just going to go ahead and recreate it. I mean, sometimes we do not have to come up with our own brilliant ideas. That is why these pages are made by designers, for us to kind of recreate and take inspiration from. I did change mine just a little bit just because of the type of photos I use. Again, mainly a 4x6 kind of person. So I decided to go ahead and change it. And I think that's kind of a fun tip that we can all take away from as well. If you see a photo or you see inspiration either on Pinterest or in a catalog or wherever, but you don't typically use those photos, just go ahead and change them. nobody's going to know. They're going to think your page is amazing anyways, because it's going to be created by you and beautiful and personalized. So nobody's going to know if you decided to use a couple 4x4s or 3x4s or 5x7s, whatever your particular layout is, and the style and the type of photos that you use. That's what's going to matter. I think I want the little ones. I believe they had, looks like they have the larger ones on there, but again, it's all personal preference here. I actually almost think I need one more. I do like glitter, so of course I'm just gonna like add a whole bunch of glitter, and I just think you can't go wrong with a lot of glitter on Christmas pages. I typically tend to add a lot more glitter on Christmas pages than any other time of the year. I think I'll go right there. Try and do the whole odd triangle thing. Maybe that one needs to be the larger one. There. Kind of carries your eyes up there as well. So here is my version of the single page layout found on page 14 in the September-October catalog using the Comfort and Joy collection from Close to My Heart. So I actually am holding back wanting to splatter this with some gold glitter, but I really wanted the clean look on this particular layout. But it'd be really cute if you added some gold glitter right to the background with that white, because if too much white actually bothers you, oh, you know what? I forgot the strip at the bottom. Here we go. But if too much white actually bothers you, it is a simple fix, at least for me, to go ahead and just add some glitter splatter with the shimmer brushes. And even if you think about doing that after you have placed your entire layout down, it's pretty simple. If you just kind of cover the places that you don't want glittered with some scrapbook or scrap paper, and then you just kind of glitter around the outside of it. But right here, I will probably put some kind of journaling as well. I know I'm not the best at putting actual information on the front of the page just because forever I've not liked my handwriting, but in reality, that doesn't matter. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. It doesn't matter if we like it or not. The whole point is preserving the memories. So I think I'm going to add some journaling here, and actually with the way the paper is, I could probably write and be a little daring, but write right on top of it as well, just because it's got those lines. I may just cut out some journaling strips as well. But again, here is my version of the Comfort and Joy single page layout that is found on page 14 in the September-October catalog. Thank you all for joining me. Happy crafting, and see you all next time.